Good morning, children. Hope you are well. Have you all heard about the Olympic Games? I'm sure you all must have watched them too. Olympic Games are sports competitions where people all around the world come together and they participate in different types of sports events. The last Olympic Games was held in 2016 and some of our winners from our country were PV Sindhu in badminton and Sakshi Malik in wrestling. I'm sure you all know them. But today we are going to learn about the first Indian to win an Olympic medal. His name is Khashaba Jadhav. Can you see the picture on the right? That is the picture of Khashaba Jadhav, the first Indian to win an Olympic medal. Now let's read about him. Read along with me, children. Have you heard about the Olympic Games? Sportsmen from many different countries of the world come together for the Olympic Games. A number of events are held. There are games, athletic events like high jump, long jump, running, gymnastic events, swimming and diving competitions, boxing and wrestling matches, and many other things. The winners are given gold, silver and bronze medals. An Olympic medal is an honor. An Olympic winner is considered to be a world champion. So children, you all have watched some Olympic Games on television, or you all must have seen some pictures of our winners in the newspapers. These Olympic Games bring together many sports people from all around the world, and they all participate in different events. Some of the events are athletic games like running, long jump and high jump. Then we have gymnastics, we have swimming, badminton, boxing, wrestling. So all the possible sports take place over there. And those who win are just like how when we win in school. The first winner will get a gold medal. Second winner will get a silver medal. And the third winner will get a bronze medal. And these winners are then known all over the world and are called as world champions. So children, what are the medals given in the Olympics? Yes, gold, silver and bronze medals. And who participates in the Olympic Games? Sportsmen from different countries of the world. Now let's read ahead. Few Indians have won Olympic medals so far. The first person to win a medal for independent India was a wrestler from Maharashtra. His name was Khashaba Jadhav. So children, just like you know, we have many Olympic winners who have won and made our country proud. I gave you some examples like PV Sindhu and Sakshi Malik. But the first person from India after independence was Khashaba Jadhav. He was a wrestler. You all must have watched the movie Dangal. Yes. So there are children who participate and then they go to higher levels like state level, national level, and then even Olympics. And they also play a game called wrestling, or we call it as kushti. So Khashaba Jadhav was from Maharashtra and he was a wrestler, and when he participated in the Olympics, he was the first Indian to win an Olympic medal. Now let's read the second paragraph. Khashaba Jadhav was born in a very poor family in a village called Goleshwar in Satara district. But it was a family that loved sport, especially wrestling. His father, Dada Sahib, was himself a wrestler. He had 5 sons. The youngest of them was Khashaba. Dada Sahib himself taught his sons wrestling. They were all very good at it, but the best among them was Khashaba. So children, Khashaba was born in a poor family in a village called Goleshwar, which comes in Satara district. His father's name was Dada Sahib and he too was a wrestler. He had 5 sons and Khashaba was the youngest son, the smallest son. The father himself trained all the sons in wrestling. But the best among all the 5 sons was Khashaba. So can you tell me who was the first person to win an Olympic medal for independent India? His name was Khashaba Jadhav. And where was Khashaba born? In a village called Goleshwar in Satara district. What was his father's name? Dada Sahib. From an early age, Khashaba loved to watch wrestling bouts. His father took him to see the bouts from the time he was just 4 years old. He would sit on his father's shoulders and watch the bouts. At 10, he was the youngest to get into the akhada. Soon, it became clear that he was also the best, not only in his own akhada, but in the whole area. Khashaba loved other sports too. He was fond of kabaddi, mulkhamb, running, swimming and gymnastics. He took part in all of these. He became strong and agile. He loved to discuss sports with his friends. The meaning of the word bouts means matches. Akhada is the arena or the ring where the fight takes place. Agile is able to move quickly. So children, when Khashaba was a small boy only, he loved watching wrestling matches. He used to go along with his father and watch the matches. When he was 10 years old, he was the youngest to take part in a wrestling match. But he was also becoming the best wrestler even though he was so young. Along with wrestling, he loved other sports too. And because he participated in so many sports, he became strong and could move very quickly. And he loved to always speak about sports with all his friends. So, sports was his favorite topic and he loved it. Can you tell me at what age did Khashaba enter the Akhada? When he was 10 years old. And what sports did he like? Kabaddi, mulkhamb, running, swimming and gymnastics. So this was all about Khashaba when he was a small boy. Now let's see when he grows up. He went to Rajaram College in Kolhapur, where wrestling was encouraged. Khashaba took part in many wrestling bouts and won them all. In that area, he was the champion. Therefore, he was sent to wrestle at the state level and national level. Khashaba Jadhav became famous at the national level too. He beat the national champion Niranjan Das in 1948, and that is why it was decided to send him to the International Olympic Games. So children, when Khashaba grew up, he went to study in Rajaram College in a district called Kolhapur. In that college, wrestling was also encouraged along with studies. So Khashaba took part in many wrestling matches and he always won them. And because he was winning so many matches, they put his name for state level and national level matches. That means he now started playing for all over India level. And when he took part at national level, at that time the national champion was Niranjan Das. But Khashaba Jadhav was so good at his game that he won the match at national level and defeated Niranjan Das and became the national champion of wrestling. So after becoming the national champion, it was decided to send Khashaba for the International Olympic Games. When Khashaba Jadhav took part in the Olympic Games for the first time, he found that the Indian and international rules were different. Also, he was used to wrestling in an earthen pit. At the Olympic Games, the bouts were held on a mat. In spite of these differences, Khashaba Jadhav won a 6th place out of 42. So children, when Khashaba went for the first time for the Olympic Games, he found that the way they were wrestling in India was very different from the way they were wrestling in the Olympic Games. So it was new for him. In India, they used to wrestle in the mud. But in the Olympic Games, the matches were held on a mat. So it was difficult to play. In spite of this, Khashaba won 6th place out of 42. Let's read the second paragraph. The Olympic Games are held every 4 years. In 1952, Khashaba wished to take part in the Olympics again. But it was not an easy task. He had to prove his merit again and face the opposition of officials. So, children, Olympic Games are held every 4 years. When Khashaba went for the first Olympic Games, he lost. He didn't win any medal, but he was eager to go for the next Olympic Games after 4 years in the year 1952. But many people were against sending him. So he had to prove himself that he is really worthy of going for the Olympic Games. Now let's read the third paragraph. Also, in those days, Olympic participants had to spend their own money for traveling to and staying in the place where the games were held. It was very expensive. Khashaba did not have that much money, and he did not get any money from the government. At last, the principal of Rajaram College gave his own house to get the money. Other people in Khashaba's village also helped. So children, to participate in the Olympic, Khashaba did not get any money from the government or the higher people in the sports department. He had to spend for himself, for his travel, for his staying, for his food, for everything. And as you know, he didn't come from a very rich family. But the principal of his college knew that Khashaba was very good at his game and he deserved to go for the Olympics. So the principal gave his house and got some money and gave that money to Khashaba for his expense to go for the Olympic Games. Even his village people, though they were poor, came ahead and helped him with some money. The 1952 Olympics were held at Helsinki. There, Khashaba Jadhav had to face opponents from Russia and the Gulf countries. He won the first 5 bouts quite easily. He won each bout within 5 minutes. Then he had to face a wrestler from Japan. They were both well matched. The bout lasted for 15 minutes. Khashaba lost the match by just 1 point. He was exhausted after the bout, but he was asked to wrestle with a Soviet wrestler immediately. This was against the rules. According to the rules, Khashaba should have rested for at least half an hour before the second bout. Khashaba lost in the bout with the Soviet wrestler. Still, he had won a bronze medal by finishing third. So children, the 1952 Olympics were held in Helsinki. Helsinki is the capital of the country Finland. There, Khashaba had to face many people from different countries. He was easily winning all the matches. Finally, he had to face a wrestler from Japan. They were both very good in wrestling. So the match lasted for a longer time. But Khashaba lost the match by just 1 point. He was tired after such a long fight with the Japanese man. And according to the rules of the Olympic Games, there should have been a half an hour break for the next fight to happen. But Khashaba did not get a break. he was asked to fight with a Soviet wrestler immediately after he lost the match with the Japanese wrestler. He was already very tired, so he found it very difficult to fight and lost the match. But still, he managed to get a bronze for our country because he came third. When Khashaba returned from Helsinki, many people honored him. The people in his village gave him a grand welcome. A procession of 151 bullock carts waited for him in his home village of Goleshwar. The villagers carried their hero home to the sound of dhols. So children, after winning the bronze at the Olympic Games, when Khashaba returned back to his village, the people gave him a grand welcome. There was a procession of 151 bullock carts waiting to receive him, and all the villagers were playing the dhol, that is the drum, and there was a lot of excitement. Khashaba Jadhav did not forget those who helped him. After winning the Olympic medal, he played the first bout to raise money, not for himself, but for the principal who had given his house for sending Khashaba to Helsinki. The principal got his house back again. So children, you can see how Khashaba Jadhav never forgot all those people who helped him go to the Olympics and win his medal. He remembered his principal who had given away his house so that he could give him money. His first match that he played after returning, he got some money, and that money he bought back the principal's house. So the principal got his house back again. That was really grateful of Khashaba. Khashaba won great honor for his country even when he did not have much help or facilities. Today, sportsmen have many facilities. Shouldn't we all try our best to win greater honors for our motherland? So children, in those olden days, there was not much help given to sportsmen. But still Khashaba came up and won for his country. On his own he managed and struggled. But today, the sportsmen are given a lot of facilities. So children, in today's date, if you are good in sports, you should practice, participate in many events, and aim for playing for your country and make your country proud at world level. Now children, can you tell me, how did the people in Khashaba's village welcome him? They gave him a grand welcome with a procession of 151 bullock carts waiting for him. Also, they played dhols for him. Did the principal get his house back again? Yes, the principal got his house back again. Now that we have read the lesson, let us answer the questions. Read the words aloud and find the odd man out in each group. So children, read the words loudly and listen to the sound of the words. From these three words, you have to decide which word has a different sound. That word will be the odd man out. Let's start with the first line. Read them aloud, children. Catch, match, watch. So which one is differently sounding? Catch and match both have a sound. But watch, aw. So it has aw sound. So the odd one out is watch. The next one, some, come, home. So home has a O sound coming in. So it's the odd one out. That, chat, what. So that and chat have at sound at the end. But what has ought sound. So what is the odd man out? 5, give, dive. So 5 and dive have I sound, but give has E sound. So give is the odd man out. Those, nose, lose. So those and nose has the O sound, but lose has the oo sound. So lose is the odd man out. Here, there, where. There and where sound similar. So the odd man out is here. The next question is, gather more information about the Olympic Games or other important sports events. So children, you can read old newspapers, magazines, or even search on Google on the internet and read about the last Olympic Games and how many winners from India made our country proud. Read the following sentences. On each sentence, frame a question starting with the given word. First is, Khashaba loved to watch wrestling bouts. You have to make a sentence using the word what. So what will be the question? What did Khashaba love to watch? So I get the answer. Khashaba loved to watch wrestling bouts. Second one, his father took him to see the bouts. Use the question who. What will it come to? Who took him to see the bouts? And my answer is, his father took him to see the bouts. Third one, he would sit on his father's shoulders. Now you have to use the word where. So what would my question be? Where would he sit? And I'll get my answer. He would sit on his father's shoulders. Last one. He beat the national champion in 1948. I have to use the word when. So my question will be, when did he beat the national champion? And I'll get my answer. He beat the national champion in 1948. So children, frame questions is using these words. The next question says, use 2 or more letters from the word to make other words. For example, my word is heard and I have the letters H-E-A-R-D. I have to mix these letters and make new smaller words. I have made some words. What are they? He, are, year, head, red, dare, hair. Now let's try the other words. wrestling. So my new words are stir, is, in, grin, wrist, win. Next, wrestler. My new words are wet, west, rest, stew, let, therefore. And my new words are there, year, rare, of, for, or. Next word is national. And the new words I can form are all, tin, nation, on, no, loan. Last word is motherland. So I can make mother, land, and, let, and dam. Now children, these were the words I have made. You can try making your own words other than these. That was all in today's lesson, children, and I hope you liked it. You can read more about other sportsmen who have won Olympics. Thank you, children, and have a nice day.